I need a vector. Let n be the number of dimensions. Let it be a template parameter. In that case, we can use an array. I'm going to use struct for my vector. Which was a template, I said. Y'all. Fuck. just a vector. Oh, Tofro. Let's see. My hyperblock has 2 to the power n corners. For each of the corners, I want to calculate the coordinates of the corner and push that to C. Actually, nothing to push because it's an array, so I just assign it to C. Yeah, I might as well use that directly then, maybe, instead of... C, but yeah, well, whatever. So D runs over all dimensions, and then we add the base dimension, we add the coordinate of the dimension D if the bit in CI is set for that dimension. I think this works intuitively. Probably works, right? The thing is n bits, and then for each bit we check if it is set, and if it is set we add it, so I get all possible permutations. Yeah, this doesn't compile. Why not? Because I'm using square brackets on vectors, which currently I have only this on off, which is const, and we now need a non-const version. Now it's null value. So no, that works. And now we need a plus equals for... Well, that works. It's just a float type. I think that should already compile. Right, let's write the member function static vector. Return static vector, and it's called intersection points. So we're having a hyperblock. We can pass a hyperplane, and then we get back a vector with all the points that this hyperplane intersects with the edges of this hyperblock. That's the idea. Bleep. Yeah, better test if it works. Compiles, I mean. I'm going to use this header in here. New header. Unknown type, a vector type. Why? Just the current vector. Non-static data member. Yeah, I guess I should have made that static. No template named vector, seriously. Use of class type vector requires template arguments. Now here I meant vector type. I don't think it knows what vector type is at this point. I'll try. Use of class template hyperplane requires template arguments. Float type, n. That's the same template arguments. No viable constructor or deduction guide for deduction of template arguments of vector. It's interesting. Yep, it doesn't know it, like I suspected it wouldn't. I'm just going to put that in front of it, because... Do I have to put the type name in front of that? Yep. You have to do that. It feels a bit stupid, but compiler wants me to do it. And more missing template parameters. Redefinition of vector. Oh, that sucks. Let's put a namespace around the other one. how to call it? Intersections. Absolutely random. No member named X-range in line. Totally different file now, but okay, well, let's continue with fixing. I need a vector X-range in line, where line is line. Here's the line. Two dimensions, 0 and 1. That's a vector is one dimension with two elements. But the vector with two elements can be used to point to a point in a plane which is two-dimensional, so it's very confusing. I think that's why they talk about a rank instead of a dimension. So this is a rank 1 two-dimensional vector. What is it? That is the question. The minimum and maximum value of x. That should be the same as when I generate my points here. Which, oh, that's like literally using what I'm going to define now. I think I used 3 times, plus or minus 3 times standard deviation. Yeah, well, that or not, but looks like the SD1 is the standard deviation of when S is 1. Hey, it is linear, so that should work. And then the plus or minus 3 times standard deviation. Right, and then of course the exact same thing for the Y range, and then I mean exactly the same. Yeah, whatever, make. Use of undeclared identifier position dist. Yeah, I'd split it up into two. We now have an X and a Y position dist. Even though the range, as you saw, is the same, so that's why it was 1 before. But now I could use create a rectangle instead of a square if I wanted to. What is this? X min. The code that never compiles. But now I'm fixing it. Y range determined by line, no longer by anyone else. Error. Use of undeclared identifier line. Well, I mean, determined by line if we had a line. Why do I not have a line here? I need a line just to know how big the thing is. Just to get S, theoretically. It's almost sad. Okay, I have line, so why not pass it to plots then? You know, in the end it's gonna draw the line, so maybe I really need it. Probably need it. I wanted to draw the line, so my line is that. Now we have a line. Redefinition of X range. Psi. X range string stream then. Oh, less than a page of errors. Or maybe we just temporarily. Use undeclared identifier X range. Yeah, well, maybe I should delete these. And then I didn't have to add the underscore. No, actually I did. This is too many underscores there. Yep, compiled. Then we can go back to the header that I was writing. Because this now compiles. So I was writing this function, intersection points. How do I find them? I need to come up with every pair of corners. And then compare a result, which I probably should just create in advance instead of creating it over and over again. One result per corner. Everything is an array here. It's gonna be a float type. Or maybe not. I don't know yet. I definitely have a number of corners of these beasts, and they are called side, okay? As in which side of the hyperplane. So we're going to calculate for every corner on which side of the hyperplane they are on. And we do that by running over all corners, I guess. So again this. And then do it. So I'm gonna have something like, what the hell? I'm going to have something like side CI is some scalar. Yeah, that's going to be the distance from the corner to the hyperplane. Maybe I should make a function for that. Separate member function. Pass point, return the kind of makes sense, right? So we have a plane. I want to know the distance to the corner. Where's my corner? Corner. Distance to corner, CI. Yeah, it is Mark Post, hello. I'm going to make the side of array of booleans because it's only on the one side or the other side. Then I'm just going to compare this with 0. It's assigned to distance. So it's one side or the other. It's positive or negative. So this is the distance in normal vectors from the corner to the plane. Yep, so if it is one way, it's on one side, and if we have to subtract normal vectors, then it's on the other side. That's like the whole thing. But now I have to write distance. Distance takes a C something. That's vector type. Hyperplane. This is my plane. I can do here. Float type distance. Const, no doubt. Something. Yeah, and then that's it. Pass the point. No, it's not a float type. Pass the vector type point. Return the number of ints that have to be added to point to end up on the hyperplane, this hyperplane. Which is equal to, well, let's do the logical thing. We're going to take a dot product. It's going to be minus n dot product with a point. It's not, yeah, that's totally possible. A vector times a vector. I'm just gonna multiply those things. Minus d, that should work. Where the star is the dot product. Yeah, well, that's a formula, I think. I prepared this somewhere else. Let me see what I had for formula here. Boom, 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 boom. Can't really find it back. Actually, I've heard it on Stack Overflow also. Stack Overflow, yeah. Posted 2 hours ago. Yeah, we're talking about this, I think. Minus the normal times the corner, dot corner, minus d. So that should work. I have to implement the dot product now of two vectors. There's a vector. We do not have a multiplication yet. Let's do a friend vector operator star vector 1 and 2. And the result is a float type. Which is the sum of stuff. So let's initialize it and then we run over something. And then we add stuff to it. Let's see, we run over all dimensions, obviously, which apparently I used I for. And then what we add is the products of each element, element-wise products. That's the dot product, so. Yeah. So then we have which side each corner is on. And now we can run over all edges and then we can see if the two corners that belong to each edge are on opposite sides of the hyperplane, and if they are, then it intersects it, and we're going to add the intersection point. And we do this as follows. We're going to run over all corners again. And then we're going to run over all the ones in each of them. which you can do very fancy with the assembly instruction, searching for the next one. But let's do it less fancy and just run over all dimensions, which I think I called to here. And then just calculate which bit it is. And then if the bit is set, it's all the same thing, right? Just code duplication, absolute horror. And then we unset it. So we make a new CI2, which is CI minus the 1. Minus the 1. I can just XOR it, I think, with bit. Now that would reset it. Toggle. This looks like a toggle of the bit. So there we have the other corner, and then I have to check if the value is different of the thing that we calculated before, the side here. So side CI, which is a Boolean, should be unequal the side of the other one. In other words, the one corner is on the other side. And if that is the case, then we found two corners that are intersected. Otherwise, we go to the next dimension, so we flip all ones in the corner index to 0. And then we do that for every corner. Okay, I think this works. Just thinking about if we can remove an if, but it's just like stupid optimization. Just would be fun. I could do something that does not flip the bit when it is not a 1. So I just reset it to 0. And then you don't have to test this because you tested with that already. Otherwise you have CI2 equals CI if you don't flip the bit, so then it's definitely not unequal. Yeah, let's leave it. Let's leave it readable. Would you would have one branch less, so maybe it would become faster. I don't know. Not important, I guess. So, nevertheless, I'm going to reset. I don't want to toggle it. I'm going to reset the bit. So I want to do an end with the inverse of bit. Yeah, and then I might as well remove this. Okay, I'm gonna remove it. Sides of the hyperplane. corners. Yeah, and then what to do with it. Now we have to calculate the intersection. Well, that definitely means I need to get my coordinates, which you have here. That's a C. So I'm going to do... what was that again? Just this, right? Just... boom. This formula. How do you pyramid? I don't think I wrote that correctly. Parameterize the edge. So we have one corner plus g times the c2 minus c1. So for g is 0, that would be c1, and for g is 1, that is c2. And then if you fill that into the line equation, you'll find that g is that. Let's copy that here. Blip, blip, int float type g is do I have an n? Yeah, well, my dot product is just a star. And I just need to have the C's here. So this is C underscore CI. And this too. And this is C underscore CI2. And it's definitely not D. This is N underscore, or this is D underscore. And again N underscore. Justifies that we are a member function of the hyperblock. Hyperblock? No, 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 no. Well, C is hyperblock, but the N is not, and D is not. Shit, man, I have to... maybe call another member function. I don't want to access everything separately. So really, what we have to do is intersections, push back, and then we just call something on the plane, a member function on the plane. Intersection with this corner and that corner. There, looks much better, doesn't it? Yep. So let's find my hyperplane class. Block here. And then we're going to write intersection. Definitely. So let's just make it an inline function. Everything inline. I think it's going to return a vector type. Intersection of the vector type const reference v1, comma v2. Correct. Maybe not. There's of course a difference between the two still. It's calculated separately because so much CPU goes into that. And then you wonder why you would even declare a G, right? Might as well do this all on one line to confuse a possible reader, future reader, or someone trying to maintain it. To discourage those guys. No maintenance required. Go away. No, I'm just kidding. I think this works. Blum 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 blum, except for one thing, I can't do this g times diff yet. And so that's a scalar times a vector. Let's make that a friend as well, my vector class. Friend, a new friend coming up. Friend, vector, operator, float type. We have that here. Oh no, I'm calling it G again. Why? Vector const reference just V will do. And now you have again a vector result, and yeah, maybe you should give other names than result. You know, more describing. This is just a little fun. Returning the intersection, but it's in the description of the video actually. And I'm almost done, I think, with this. If I didn't make any mistake, and I never make mistakes, this probably just works. If it compiles, it works. Return, result. I want to copy V and then element wise multiply it with G, because that's what we are actually doing here. Element wise result I multiply with G, yes? Yeah, it just doesn't compile course we've got a semicolon and another vector type. Now it compiles. Great. So now I can go back to the new residual loss thingy. And then I was drawing my line. All this trouble, really. Many hours. Intersecting hyperplanes with hypercubes. And then it turns out that my hyperplane is a rectangle and my hyperplane is a line. Seriously. Where's my plot? Yeah. So intersection, my hyperplane. To create a thing. So I need a hyperplane and a hypercube. Let's call this line. Let's maybe just like this line. I don't know. Let's call it a line for now. And the hypercube is just a rectangle. And which means these things do definitely have template parameters. So float type 1 dimension. No. I don't know, man. I don't know. I think the 1 is not correct. I completely lost it again. And then we have to do something else like auto intersections is, and then call something. Okay, I've got everything. On call intersection points on the hyperblock, passing a hyperplane. Hypercube. My subconscious, what are you doing? Okay, well that now calculates the intersections between a line and a rectangle. But hey, it works in 5 dimensions as well. So I feel better. Provided, of course, I can create this thing here. I don't think I even have a constructor yet for this. No constructor. Let's make my hyperplane. The hyperplane is created from vector type const reference normal. Let's call that. And the float type D. And then copy that. I just make it the problem with the other Carlo, the one that calls this. Oh shit, that's me. Hyperplane. So I have to pass a normal here and that would be n and a distance. Yeah, you gotta be kidding me, right? Is that really true? Of course not true, because the line here has a W. Oh, wait a minute. Tensor 2W. Yeah. Yeah, this is my normal here. Just do it like that. That's the normal. Okay, let's try this again. So I have a normal which exists of elements that and the other one, and the distance is number 2. Now I'm passing a, what is this called again? Initialization list, an initializer list, to the first element of the constructor of my hyperplane, which is a vector type. Is that going to work? That would work actually, if it takes an array. So why not? You can just take, oppa, the array V has been initialized with the initializer list, and we can just copy that, and then we're done. Amazing. Control T, I think. No, next. Okay, that should work. Rectangle, however. Rectangle. And that is to be constructed from two vectors, I think, which again, then I can pass an array. I mean, if this worked, then this is going to work as well, right? So that is x min, comma, y min, comma, x max, comma, y max. Cross fingers, otherwise, yeah. Oh, wait a minute, there's one here. What is it again? N is the number of dimensions of the vectors, which is 2. That's why I'm passing 2 values here. Totally 2. Oops. Let's try this. And it compiles. No, it doesn't. Use of undeclared identifier intersection. Did you mean intersections? Well, I understand all following errors based on this. Dang, still doesn't compile. No mention constructor for initialization of intersections hyperplane. And I'm passing an initializer list of, I think, a float type, comma, another float type. Candidate constructor not viable, cannot convert initializer list argument to const vector type, aka vector long double 2. I think it complains about this one then. And why not? What the hell? Yeah, okay. Nah, maybe. So this doesn't work. Suppose you could just make V an initialize list. Hello, Rainer. I think it's an... I'm going to try standard initializer list. But those things are not... Let's say I never use them, basically. Well, I did probably, so I would have to look in my code. Or we can ask ChatGPT. Or I just look it up here. Initializer list. If there is an example. You know, no. Yeah, there is an example. Yeah, just standard initializer list. Apparently, arbitrary, it's like a container. So that begs the question then, can we construct an array from a standard initializer list? Let me first begin with standard initializer list. Initializer list. Because that's what we are passing apparently. I'm still annoyed though. That doesn't work. Array initializer must be an initializer list. I find that a very funny remark. Initializer list V. Error V must be initializer list. Okay, so array. Oh, wrong one. Array. Constructors. I don't have constructors. Yeah, I think it must be control. Maybe you can use make array. Sure if that takes an initializer list. I mean, it takes just a bunch of arguments. I'm gonna ask ChatGPT. Yeah, kind of lame, but okay. We'll go with it, I guess. So it's still an initializer list then, but you're manually copying stuff. You call it list, and then here we have on equal n. Standard copy. List begin and to v underscore, right? And I'm gonna call it v. V. And this is Vidas, the V, and V. First out first. I mean in first. I said it wrong. First last. Output first. Right? Here's the output. This one. Destination first. Good. Now probably need exceptions for that thing. Exceptions. Or not. What about exception? Standard invalid argument. No member named invalid argument in namespace. Oh, the fuck. Standard accept. Why didn't you say so? Exception. And still it doesn't come. This argument member function intersection has type const hyperplane long double, but function is not marked const. Intersection should be const. Totally agree with that. And then we get invalid argument. Unary expression. Yeah, well, let's just put stuff around it then. Parentheses, I mean. Invalid operands to binary expression. Can't subtract. Oh, wait a minute. What the? So n underscore is a vector type, and vector type times point, which is also a vector type, should return a scalar. And we can of course then subtract this other float type from it. So where is my vector multiplication defined? That one. Returns a vector. That's stupid. Why? How? Dot product returns a scalar. That's exactly this. I don't understand why that even compiled. Didn't complain about that. Invalid operand, so binary expression. V1 plus G times diff. And now it is vector type and vector long double 2. Const vector long double 2 and vector long double 2. I don't have an add. I guess I don't. Yeah, we only have a subtraction. To implement the add, plus even ChatGPT could have figured that one out. Well, it compiled, so drum ruffle. Do we crash? We do not crash. We even have a line. But that's where it stops. What the hell? Okay, I'm not too happy with it. Let's try this again. Oh, wait a minute. Yeah, it erased everything. I think I remember why that happened. Happens. Let's try replot. That's better. But yeah, apart from the line should come from there and then be drawn to there. Yes, but is the direction even correct, or is it complete bullshit? It's hard to see. It is a mess. I think I'm gonna add a lot of let's make 500 points. Yeah, maybe that's just enough to see where the line should be. It's definitely not correct. No, it's not correct. I guess the line should be like here-ish, something like that. Not even perpendicular or anything. Just totally random. Totally random. Let's make 10 more points. 5,000. And let's set the standard deviation to 0. Let's see. Generate colors. I think that would work if I just don't call the color dist, but use 0.5. Right, so now we can clearly see what the line should be, separating red and green. And yes, it is even, it has a different slope here. I don't know. Is it really? Okay, green on that side. I want to see green at the bottom ones, and then I'm happy that it is really working. Green at the ball, there, right there. Okay, yeah, this line is totally wrong. That sucks. That sucks. Probably should go to bed. Just fix it tomorrow. Guess it requires some debugging. I think it's a diagonal line under 45 degrees. Gee, what now? This runs from -1 till 1. No, of course they are the same. Why is that? Why does it keep the ratio the same? Well, it's just wrong, is it? If you get what I mean. Oh. Click a random button and it's fixed. So this looks like a diagonal line, 45 degrees. Just saying. And more or less again, right? Is this still a square? Hardly. Oh, it just fills it. That's not what we want. That is not related. Apply auto scale. Guess that works. Yeah, I'm gonna say it's a line under 45 degrees, which is very suspicious. It's also starting at -1 here till 4. -1 till 4. So what is this? Also -1. -1, -1 till... That's not really 4 here. Or is it? 3? No, not 45 degrees then. Maybe we should just print the values. Well, I know I wasn't far off. -1 till 3, 4. Exactly that. Yes. Okay, I think that it kind of explains the failure of my code. I'm not even using it. Ridiculous. Yeah. What I need is I have to fill in those things here. Standard output string stream OSS right set arrow from. Now what is it? Intersection should have a size of 2, and it's a vector, I think. So we have 0, and then we have a vector, so that has a x coordinate, comma, and then the y coordinates of first intersection point, followed by 2, and then the same thing, but then for the other one, so bloop, but 1, and followed by no head, not intersects. That's about arrows, actually. Am I doing that? No. Okay. Have it. Oh, it is dot str. Dot c str. Yeah, I do want to have an assert here though that the size is really equal to 2. Everything goes wrong, of course. Value type vector does not provide a call operator. Oh, it's not that vector. It's the other kind of vector. And now I have 2 vectors. And this one uses square brackets. Okay, I give up. Just do 1 bracket. No? Okay. And again here. Make, compile, run, success. Carlo does not make mistakes. Oh, wait a minute, I do make mistakes. Because it doesn't run till the end. Damn, what is happening here? Why does it not reach the end? But hey, that's not bad. It's not bad at all. It's like exactly what it should be, except it's a bit short. I'm going to run it again. Man, do I have a random generator or do I have a random generator? Crashed! Wow! Oh, wait a minute. Now we have suddenly more than 2 intersections. Really would have liked to see those intersections. Yeah. So for next time, print them. If as unequal print xy coordinates of everything and then we even core dump. What? And again. Now we're talking. Some strange things are going on, that's for sure. GDB, crash on me. And now we don't even have a line. Oh, because it's crashed. Yeah, well, the thing is that probably I is 1. Oh, or where did we crash again? Print intersections has a size of 0. No, okay. That doesn't intersect at all. It doesn't intersect at all. What? So either it's correct or doesn't intersect. It's kind of impossible. I mean, it totally intersects twice. Really strange things are going on here. Really strange things. Looks better. Yep, crashed again. Empty again. So sometimes we don't have any intersection. It's not crash. Okay, so the only thing that's wrong is length. Oh, this is really weird, man. Bah, koud. Let's print stuff. Print stuff from the hypers thing stuff. New intersection points. Yeah, just print both. It's a bloody vector. So no, intersection between 4.17 and 0. 417, comma 0 and 0, 0. Oh, well, yeah, it's kind of forgetting the offset that I have, right? That's strange. Oh, that would explain it. Yep, now I see it. It thinks that the rectangle is actually running like this. Like this. So it works like a charm. It just thinks that the rectangle does not end here, but ends here at the 0. That's why it stops. And here at this 0. I'm just feeding the wrong coordinates of the corners into it. It seems. How did that happen then? So looks like my C is wrong. C underscore. I mean, those values are nonsense. Those are not the corners. Vector C is that plus base. Oh yeah. So that should have been C1 plus C. Fixed, I think. Though it would have been nice if the line was on top of the dots. You can fix that too. Wrong file. Schedule loss. Draw a line. Now we're drawing the line. As far as I can see, after the others. Draw this first and then the line. Why the line is not on top, nobody knows. Okay, I give up. Just run it a few times. Totally works, right? Really nice. Stops there and stops there. Right, okay, let's remove the limit on the standard deviation again and use a random standard deviation. Now you can still see the line is, of course, because now it draws the line or it crashes. How did that happen? Really? It's pretty much at the corner, but okay. Okay, we can see what happens. Still interesting, I guess. And a crash again, really. Let's try this in debug again. No crashes. Whoa, what? It goes outside now suddenly. What happens here? So it doesn't work. Well, not all the way, not all the time anyway. This thing says now, intersection between -10 and +10. That's minus 10 plus 10. That's this corner. And minus 10 minus 10. That's this corner. It's totally not true. Or x, you know, x, sorry. Yeah, this y changes. And then the other one is the other two corners. Maybe I'm printing it wrong. It's not the other two corners. It's the same corner and the opposite corner. Yeah, so this corner is the same corner. And those two are the opposite corners. So apparently this one is the same one, which is this one. Minus 10, 10. Well, if you say so. But if it would be the case if y is mentioned first. Let me have a look again at one that really works. This one totally works, right? So now it's between axis 0 and with y toggling, and axis plus with y toggling. Well, 0. Minus and then y toggles, and plus and y toggles. So yeah, this is definitely y. Although we cannot distinguish x plus and minus. Let's have a look if we have a pure vertical line. Oh, this will do. To know it is between plus and minus y with x toggles. So yeah, definitely x. Yep, totally. Maybe it goes wrong if we cut it like this. Not from opposite sides, but just from neighboring sides. Well, this one works. And that one works. And that one works. And that one doesn't work because we didn't have any intersections. That still happens then, apparently. It's not happening very often that it cuts not through opposite sides. Yes, we have it. And indeed, immediately wrong again. Can I guess what is happening here? Intersection between x. Well, I know that this is x and this is y, but since they always exist both for plus and minus, and the toggling is also the plus and the minus is still unclear. So that must be wrong, right? Now we can detect it because the y value is negative. So if that's wrong, then it really should be positive. So we have a, you see, if the x value has a wrong minus sign, then it doesn't matter, because this one is negative and that one is positive. But the y value is negative in both cases, which is not the case here, by the way. So we're looking for, can just look at the common corner again. The common corner is this, minus minus. And that is not the case. Common corner is plus plus. So it seems that for both, the sign is wrong. Okay, so in that case, I think it is confusing this corner with that corner, meaning that it thinks it is cutting through the bottom side and this side. Those two. So yeah, this line just continues still outside my monitor, and this one goes up also outside the monitor. We have a detected problem. Totally a minus sign problem. Okay. And still looks like the C is wrong, so wrong header file. To be minus that then, but that's ridiculous, of course. Ridiculous. I think I just have to print these values and then meditate about it for an hour. And C underscore is a vector type. I think I can print those, right? That is a vector type is a vector, and well, of this file, which we can't print. What? Can't print them. v underscore v underscore I see 0 means 0, 0 means let's see, the origin relative with C1 is the origin, and C1 should be the bottom left corner. So yeah, looked like the correct value to me. And then this is of course the opposite corner, and then we have C1. Then is that that's the least significant bit, so that is the x-axis. And indeed, I think these values are correct. Yeah, it's getting too late. I mean, making progress, but I just have to go to bed. I'll fix this probably off stream because it's just an annoying stupid bug. I'll be back later, tomorrow. I mean, good night.